Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. I'm speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. In this video, I am continuing my ranking all of the Beatles songs. This time I'm going through 171 through 167, so I'm going to cover 5 Beatles songs here. This is in the OK Beatles song tier that I'm doing. Anyways, the songs are just right above the bad ones, not quite good enough to be in my playlist. So here's number 171 is Fixing a Hole. Came off the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, written by Paul McCartney. This song, it talks about fixing a hole like in a roof, like in a house. Paul McCartney, from what I was reading about why he wrote the song, it's supposed to be kind of some kind of metaphor for your life, fixing the holes in your life or something like that. But the song itself is talking about fixing a hole in a roof. A lot of people say they think it's about heroin. That fixing a hole is like the heroin needle or something like that. And like I said, from what I read, Paul McCartney doesn't say it's about that at all. But I feel like almost every Beatles song turns into a drug reference somehow. Like everybody's like, "She loves you." Oh, they're talking about drugs. She loves drugs. That's you. And it's like, no, not every Beatles song is a drug song. So I don't know. I'm kind of one of those that I'm reluctant to call anything a drug song unless the Beatles say it's a drug song. But even if the Beatles say it's a drug song and the song doesn't say anything about drugs, I'm like, it's not a drug song. It's whatever it's written about. It's song about that. Anyway, so Fixing a Hole to me is not a drug song. To me, it's more just about he sees a hole in the house, the roof, or whatever, and he's talking about fixing the hole. Is all about. So so for the song, it's definitely one of those kind of throwaway songs on the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Lyrically, it's not much to it. It's okay melody wise. Paul McCartney. I think there's some good guitar work in there, or bass work in there. It's just okay. It's definitely a song that I wasn't sure if it'd make my okay list. It's pretty close to my bad list, but listening to it, I go, it's not bad enough to get in my bad list, but definitely not one I try to listen to too often, in my opinion. So that's 171, Fixing a Hole. 170, I have All Together Now. Comes off the Yellow Submarine album, written by Paul McCartney. Sung by Paul, I guess, but all the Beatles were really get involved in this song. It's really a children's song. It's very simple that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, can't have a little more. There's numbers, there's letters. It's definitely aimed towards children. And Paul's done that a couple of times. I feel like, and the Beatles have done that a couple of times. With Yellow Submarine. The continuing story of Bungle Bill kind of has that sound to it. And I actually kind of like that sound. Like, I'm not into children's songs, but somehow when the Beatles do it, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. It's definitely not their best work lyrically and all musically and all that, but yet usually it's a fun song. Like this song, not very much lyrics to it. Yeah, lyrically just not a lot to it for sure. And the chorus is just all together now. It's very catchy though, the chorus I like, and I just like that it's a fun song that's kind of catchy, gets in my head. It's one of the 4 songs that come on the Yellow Submarine album. I mostly know it from the film. At the very end of Yellow Submarine, of course, is an animated film. Particularly not a good film, in my opinion. The animation is very strange. Kind of a boring story. The Beatles are fun in the movie, I'd say, and the songs are good, but most of it I don't care for. And then the Beatles didn't even voice their own characters in it, which I didn't realize that too much later, that isn't even the Beatles doing their voices. They had actors to kind of try to kind of cover their voices on there, impersonate their voices. And so it makes it kind of a cheaper movie that the Beatles weren't that involved really. And most of the music is from other albums, only 4 new songs altogether. But I guess the Beatles really didn't have anything to do with the movie except for I guess they got a preview of the movie, or they heard the movie was going to be decent, so they end up doing a short scene at the very end of the movie. And the movie's over, the 4 Beatles come on screen. And to me, that's like probably the best part of the movie. When I see the 4 Beatles, I'm like, all right, the Beatles, like, I want to see them rather than this animated movie. I really want to see them, And they do just a little bit where they have to sing their way out. Their blue meanings are coming. They have to sing, and so they go 1, 2, 3, 4, as John does at the end, and then they do the All Together Now song. Anyways, and so that's my when I think of the song, I think of the very end of Yellow Submarine, and then the Beatles kind of being goofy and having a little fun. So that's what I got here at 170. Kind of a goofy, fun song, but I enjoy it. 169, I got Cry Baby Cry. Comes off the White Album, written by John Lennon. It's a song that he was working on when he was in India. He was working on songs with Donovan a lot, so it has a kind of a Donovan feel to it. It also has a fairy tale aspect to it. He's talking about kings and queens and all this stuff. So he's trying to integrate like fairy tale type lyrics into the song. And also it's partly based on a nursery rhyme called Sing a Song of Sixpence. So it has a nursery rhyme feel to it, I guess. It's kind of a song that I don't think about a lot. And I even forgot it was on the White Album. So many songs on there. This is one that you don't think about as much on the White Album as the other ones. And I would say it's a throwaway song. It's not a song I listen to very often. Overall, it's a decent song. I mean, nothing really to it. John Lennon does a decent job vocally. Not much to the lyrics, like I said. Can't really make out the lyrics, like what it's about exactly. But yeah, it's just an okay song. I can't say. I'm trying to figure out what more to say about the song. I can't think of anything. It gets easier when I get to the songs I really like. At 168, I have another song off the Sgt. Pepper's that kind of goes along with Fixing a Hole to me, or like the two Paul McCartney throwaway songs. And this one is When I'm 64. Coming out of Sgt. Pepper's, written by Paul McCartney again. He composed it on the piano when he was 15. That's the crazy part, is he was coming up with the song when he was 15 years old on a piano. Of course, it took up all the way till 1967 before he puts it on an album. It's written, like I said, Paul McCartney likes to do these kind of, especially in the White Album, loves to do old style songs. This one's done in kind of a cabaret style, the 20s and 30s, which he grew up listening to because his dad played the piano when he was growing up. So this was kind of, he does all these homages, I think, to his father, because he had a lot of great memories of listening to his father playing the piano and him sitting on the floor watching his dad, you know. Like I said, this reminds me of like, you know, Wild Honey or Honey Pie and Maxwell Silver Hammer. Kind of has this old style feel to it, and it's not my favorite style for him. When I'm 64, you know, it's got an interesting sound to it, and you know, it's just talking about being old. Are you gonna still love me? Are you gonna still help me out when I'm getting old? Which 64 is not old. That's the funny part when I listen to the song. Because I work in healthcare where I'm working with a lot of 80, 90-year-olds, up to 100, you know, year old people. 64 to me is like, oh, that's a young person. But it's funny how he's talking about 64. You're gonna still feed me. You can still need me. You know, all these things. 64, you're still working. You're still doing things. You're still going out and traveling, and it's not that old. But anyways, so it's kind of a quirky song almost to me. But I like the musically. There's some good music stuff in there. Some instrumental stuff in there I enjoy. I don't know what bassoon or something's in there, and some what do you call it? Not drums, but something that's being hit. That definitely has got this great studio feel to it, of course. But it's a simple song at the same time. During a time when they're doing a lot of experimental psychedelic stuff, this is kind of the opposite of that in a way, but yet still has a good studio work to it. And lyrically, it's just kind of a fun song. And then also makes 64 a big number. Anytime someone turns 64, I always think of the song When I'm 64. So it does that, makes that a thing in the zeitgeist now. So that's something. But anyway, so yeah, it's okay. Not one of my favorites. I say that about every song I know, but I can't iterate how much, like I'm just blah about a lot of these songs. So When I'm 64 is at 168. Last song on my list at 167 is Lady Madonna, which is I think probably a pretty popular song in the Beatles catalog. I'm sure other people have it much higher on their list. I'm not as big fan of the song. Written by Paul, it was a #1 single in the UK. So again, it's a #1 single, and yet I have it way low. To me, it's by far not one of their best songs. A lot of better songs deserve a #1 single more than this one, but it's written in the 50s jazz piano. A guy named Johnny Parker. Paul McCartney really was doing the song off of Johnny Parker, who was a jazz piano player. And so I'm not into the 50s jazz piano, so I don't really care for the piano riff that much throughout the song. But yeah, Johnny Parker, instrumental track on Bad Penny Blues, kind of similar to that. Of course, Madonna is the Mother Mary in Christianity, and especially Catholicism. There's a lot of paintings and statues of Madonna, which is Mary, is Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, who's really, of course, very well thought of in Catholicism, especially. And he got the idea from, he saw a picture on National Geographic of a Malaysian woman, and she had a baby, kind of breastfeeding a little bit, whatever, and of course about, obviously very third world country, very poor, and him seeing that picture kind of gave him this idea of this song about, this Lady Madonna, this, woman, kind of saint-like, she's working really hard, and, it's got a hard life and all that, so it's about that kind of. It's another song where I almost want to put in the bad category because I just don't care for the music. I put it in here just because I like some of the vocal harmonies are really good in the song. I love the "See How They Run," like that part is really good. I love that kind of part, and some of the background vocals are very good in the song, and overall make it just passable for me. Anyways, and that's why I got here at 167, Lady Madonna. So there's 5 more songs for you. I got many more to go because I'm only at 167. So thank you for watching the video and for liking it. And just tell me what you think about these songs, or are they higher or lower on your list? And just thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. And I hope to do many more of these. So thank you and have a good day.